In this episode of Radio Rothingham, we got the following co-hosts. We've got Astra the Astra.
Hi, I'm playing Overwatch.
We've got Herr Bakphoon.
Dicks out for Harambe.
We got the one and only Sekele.
Harambe jokes will never be outdated.
And we got the Artrix. No one fucking cares about it. Anyway, this is a new episode of Radio Rothingham, the world's least professional podcast on the entire internet. We're also gonna have Xaverius. He's probably gonna drop in midstream. I don't know, but he's kind of dead right now. So whatevs. Plenty of topics to go through, and so, you know, our local Slovakian has a shit ton of topics for us. So let's you know, jump straight in. So what do you want to bring first?
So for starters,
by the way,
Slovakia has launched its first. Yes.
Also, I'm drawing Winston from Overwatch. FYI. All right, go ahead.
No. Anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear it just fine.
No.
Okay. So for starters, Slovakia has finally launched its first space satellite into cosmos. We had to launch it from India because Slovakia does not have a spaceport of its own, but the satellite and the rocket were manufactured in Slovakia and they worked as they were supposed to, surprisingly.
So what you're saying is that Slovakia can into space.
Now it can very much into space.
Mhm.
As long as someone wants to borrow us their spaceport, of course.
Of course. So obviously, now I know what the Dutch need to do. We just need to terraform not a bunch of land, just create a second Netherlands in the ocean, and then just make it one huge spaceport, and then we can into space. And then everyone will want to use it because it's specifically built for space travel. Specific.
It does not sound all that far-fetched, as weird as it may sound.
Well, we did build, we did expand our country by creating an entire island from the sea. We're like, yeah, this bunch of sea, we don't like it. We want to get rid of it, so we did. We moved sea.
Meanwhile, they see things. Yeah. Meanwhile, they see things like the Dutch. I don't like it. I need to get rid of it. But the Dutch are like, no, we are gonna resist.
And we did pretty hard because one of our 12 provinces is a fucking, you know, it used to be sea, but not anymore. It is now land, used for all the farming. And actually, that's it. It's just one big farm. Oh, and there's also a theme park on it. So, and it's also kind of a mediocre theme park, to be honest. Like, I went there a few years back. By a few years, I mean like a few months ago. But yeah, it's all right. This is not exactly the. You know what? If you guys ever come over, I wouldn't recommend going there. I wouldn't be like, yeah, let's go to this one particular theme park, because it's really not that great. Just putting it out there.
I assume it's also unreasonably expensive.
Oh yeah, definitely. By the way, I'm talking about it's Six Flags these days. They've reverted back to their original name, Wallaby, and they're like, yeah, this is basically just one big money machine, and you're just a cash cow, and we're just gonna be very blatant about it. Like, if you want something to eat, well, tough luck. It's gonna cost you at least 12 euros, just for something that will probably cost us like 2 euros to make. So, yeah, but what you gonna do? Starve to death? Huh, I don't think so. Also, good luck's way at spending like
there's
an.
always the option not to go there.
Yeah, which is exactly what I would recommend. I've been there once, especially during the Halloween time. Things that had like an event going on, and I was still like, yeah, it's nice that I can at least say I've been there and I've seen it, and I actually kinda did the theme of Halloween well. But no, I wouldn't recommend going there, especially during Halloween, because for one particular ride,
Why did nobody tell me there was?
I did several times.
No, I have 0 messages from you on Skype that this thing is.
Yes, because I assume that you're on Discord, unlike Penboy, which needs to.
How would I do that? I have everything on this thing. Every single notification that exists, I have turned off.
Ah, okay, there
So
you
it doesn't
go.
bother me.
Well, there you go. Well,
Then
I did
don't,
also.
then don't complain that you don't have any news.
Well,
What?
here we have Xaverius. He's
What?
here as
That's
predicted. So welcome to the show.
that's like telling. I don't even what analogy used here.
I'm
Like-
not even sure what's going on. Also, I don't care. So
Me neither. There's a problem. The thing that he said is so stupid that I don't even have an analogy for it.
don't bother. Anyway, so Slovakia came into
I'm going to
space.
think of this place.
Indeed.
So does it mean you're gonna have like a big colony in the moon or something like that?
Well, it's a start. I mean, now we predict weather. Then maybe one day we'll start controlling the weather, because that's what the communists always said. We will command the wind, we will command the rain, and then maybe one day the colonies will also come.
That, you know what? That sounds terrifying. Just the concept of communists controlling the weather. That
What
takes
do
it
you
to
mean
an all.
concept? Obviously, that was a reality. The entire Soviet Union.
Oh yeah, I believe
Duh.
it. I believe it immediately. No questions asked.
Anyway,
Oh,
colonization of the moon by the Slovaks is a good thing, because now we finally have a place where to put all the gypsies.
Or you can
Put
just
your trash to our place.
all move to the moon and make it really nice, and then just let the gypsies live
No, I'm just going to send the gypsies there. Spacesuit optional.
Trash.
Yes, exactly, Buck, exactly.
So yeah, I honestly don't have anything to comment on that. I mean, it's Slovakia sending a satellite into space. That's an achievement.
Slovakian made satellite.
Yes,
And
there's
it
an,
works.
there's an object made in Slovakia that's now in space. I'm not even sure if the Dutch have
But
ever
for how
managed.
long will it work?
6 days. Okay, let's
Yeah.
hope it's gonna last longer than 6 days, but still.
It will last 7 days.
Rock in space.
7 minutes.
No, Slovakia.
I think Slovakia has at least 8 minutes already.
Well, it did exist for longer than 8 minutes, so it's got that going for it, I guess. So do you have any future plans, or like, yeah, we put this object into space, so obviously now we're immediately going to think of other things we can put in space.
Of course.
Well, we might spy on your back garden.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
We might start spying on your back garden.
Oh yeah, but you know, everyone else is already doing that. I mean, you look at Google Street View, and then they basically, you know, they know everything.
Yeah, even my mom did that.
Oh yeah, you guys are, even you guys are on Google Street View. Like when I sent you that Christmas card, I looked it up and I was like, okay, so this is your street, this is where you live. Okay, knowledge received, I guess. and then I moved. Then I carried on with my life because that was like a novelty and nothing else. Anyway, does Xaverius have a topic for the episode?
Well, you know, Ethereum.
What about it?
I take it as no.
Yeah.
Ethereum is a shit coin. Just like the thing you mine, Dogecoin. Except
Okay.
it
Okay.
costs
It's a,
about 3 billion more dollars than yours. Wow.
it's a
The thing is,
cryptocurrency.
somebody made a big transaction, and then somebody else made a series of small transactions, and then the value of the thing went from $335 to 10 cents.
Wow, that's a drastic turn of events.
Lots of people got angry. Well, unfortunately, it went back up, so they are not going to make the video card cheaper, unfortunately. Yes, video cards now cost more because of the fact that Ethereum went so up and everybody's buying cards now to mine it. So, if it stayed on the 10 cents for a month, I wouldn't be mad.
How many freaking cryptocurrencies do we have by now? I mean, we've got Dogecoin.
6 million.
Yeah. It does kind of feel like that. We got Dogecoin.
And that's only those you heard about.
Mhm. And Litecoin, and obviously
Where
there's
those
Bitcoin.
coins go?
Dogecoin is still around. I don't think it's worth all that much, but it's definitely still around. I think you should even buy stuff with it. You're like, hey, how many
Yes.
Dogecoin do you want for it? And then they're like, well, I want 6 Dogecoin to the 6 trillionth power, and then you can probably purchase pizza,
Yes.
something like that.
I mean, that sounds like it would work that way.
Hmm.
I mean, right now, a lot of people are actually mining for those currencies.
Yes, that's what I just said. Everybody's
Yes.
mining, especially for
Exactly.
Ethereum. And that's why video cards went up in price, which is not very nice.
Especially the AMD ones. So basically, people that got their RX 480 even used and 580, they kind of can sell them and make a profit and just get a GTX 1070.
Exactly. I'm just skipping the middleman and getting 1070. Right. I know a guy who can get all those parts except for the video card from understandable reasons cheaper than I can get it here. Actually, he berated me for having shit country because we have shops that have about, well, they're actually retail chains that specialize in IT and electronics. But whatever, they're big, and there's like 3 of them, the biggest ones. And he berated me because they had only like 20% of the stock that he can get. It's like the things I would recommend you don't even exist in your country.
They don't exist, or are they just not available? There's a distinction. You
Exactly.
see.
No, they don't exist. If they are not available, that they are like, this thing is not for sale.
Yeah, but it still exists. It's just not, present in the country. I'm just arguing semantics. Anyway,
Well, they are going to be present in the country if I order them from the guy.
yes. Well, maybe should do it just for that, so you can say, you
Yes,
see, it
obviously
now.
I would, but he's quite unavailable. What a fucker, he has life. And life consists of taking care of servers.
GG. Okay, so GPUs have gone up in price because some fuckers decided, you know what, I'm just going to mine all the cryptocurrency. I'm gonna do it forever.
And conveniently, everything else went up in price because the shops just happen to have these very, very long-term sale, aka the things that we are selling you are not actually as expensive as we make them out to be. But every time this happens, they're like, oh, okay, sale's over, and they put it back to the quote-unquote normal price, which is higher than it should be.
Well, that's the year we live in now, where something as silly as cryptocurrency can actually manipulate the price of IRL items like GPUs. Who could have ever
I'm
seen
pretty
that
sure
coming?
that already happened a few years ago.
I don't remember the Bitcoin craze of a few years back. I think it was like
The
around.
great Bitcoin craze of 2013. I was around.
Mhm.
Back then,
Me too.
Bitcoin was like $300.
That's annoying thing
Like,
about
I
this whole
should try.
Bitcoin thing.
But the problem back then was that I did not have a actual graphics card. I only had an Intel. You can mine stuff on Intel.
The annoying thing about this whole Bitcoin thing is that there are many moments when I had the opportunity to buy them for like a few tenors. And right now I'm like, yeah, if I just spent like 50 quid on a bunch of Bitcoin, then I would have made bank.
I just spent a bunch of squid on a bunch of Bitcoins and then waited 4 years.
Then I would have got them all the squids.
Yes.
And then
Oh,
I
did you have the opportunity? I didn't even have the opportunity to buy them.
because you were poor.
No, because I didn't talk to anybody who be pawning them.
You didn't have the opportunity
Brokering
to actually buy them. Okay, I see.
Yes.
Because that was
There
actually
were no sellers.
well, did you have like
Only a girl in my class who just happened to have a brother who was doing that.
well, that
And
means
everybody was laughing at him because he was not using very effective cards, but hey, still better than a single integrated Intel.
oh wait, so her brother was mining Bitcoin, so you could actually buy Bitcoin from him.
No, I couldn't. I did not know this brother. I still
Oh.
do not know this brother. I saw the girl like 5 times.
Right.
I don't know who are these people. The only thing I know that she has hair. Or had hair. Maybe she, I don't know, got cancer or married a biker in the meantime and now has no hair.
Or she became lesbian. Let's forget that. It is after all the Lear
No,
of the
then
Year.
would she have blue hair, but only on one half of her face.
Exactly. So she'd be semi-bald. She would be like not completely bald, but just kind of, just a little bit.
Defying the patriarchy.
Do they seriously believe something like that exists?
Well, if there's a spectrum of genders, and Bill Nye says it's true, then it must be true, and in that case, even this is possible. So yes.
But Bill Nye is not a biologist. He's an engineer.
Well, somebody has to build people, right?
I'm pretty sure you build people in the past. You go to BillNye.com.
Exactly.
You can just order human right there from his website. It's like, yeah. Do you want to human build this pack? Just fill in this form and I'll deliver in like 2 weeks.
Just don't buy them from Bill Nye. They can't sing.
Yeah, that's probably. Well, just give him the right specs and he can probably do it. But yeah.
We should buy them from Johnny Depp. Especially if you want an actor who can kill Trump.
But
Oh yeah, that happened. Johnny Depp was talking to people and he was like, when was the last time an actor killed a president?
After the Civil War.
Yes. And everybody was quite happy about him mentioning that.
oh yeah.
Almost like if they wanted an actor to kill a president. And he was like, well, I'm not an actor. I just make money by lying.
Kinda sounds as if those people were in support of slavery. Huh.
But hey.
No, they just want to kill a president. A president. I bet it's Macron.
Yeah, just someone goes over to France and they accidentally the Macron and then like, oh, whoops, wrong president.
Obviously, they wouldn't want to kill any specific president, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially not a president in some of the Americas.
That they were like, yeah, I was supposed to kill president, and you know, Macron was the one that was the most nearby. So yeah, sorry if it's your president, but I kind of had to do it. No hard feelings. And then they get arrested anyways.
He just wanted to kill a president.
Mhm.
It's like with Madonna.
It could happen to the Czech president, though. You know, given that it's Czech, yeah, that probably not happen.
Well, considering the direction the EU is going, I would not be surprised if there was an assassination attempt.
Our president is best, though. He called the prime minister a swine, and he was very angry at Ivanka Trump, or Ivana Trump, the older version of her, that she decided to not be an ambassador, because before she said she would be an ambassador, and he was like, that's not very nice of you. You have responsibility to the country where you were born. And then she wasn't an ambassador. Also, he said that to remain a state that's not getting lorded over by EU, we need to have balls. And yes, he said that.
That's great.
Exactly
That's probably transphobic and toxic masculinity.
Nobody likes him.
And
Because he says mean words, like calling the prime minister a swine, which
You know,
was the greatest thing I heard this week.
you know who also said mean words? Anita Sarkeesian.
Yes,
Like-
I wasn't finished, but whatever.
Okay, finish up and then we'll bring up this new topic.
Okay, so let's go back to the Madonna. Apparently she was thinking about blowing up the White House. Then she kind of backpedaled and was like, well, I didn't mean that. Which was obviously very sincere. Since I started about our president, did you know that we betrayed the Europe, Artrix?
Again?
And also Poland betrayed to Europe, and Slovakia betrayed to Europe, and Hungary betrayed to Europe.
Yeah, but now they want
You already
sanctions
knew
and
that.
shit.
Yes,
And-
because we apparently have betrayed Europe by not accepting non-European people at the moment. Something's off. I can't pinpoint it, but there's something off in this.
Well, obviously that means you're a racist. What? I'm just going with the flow. but yeah, I think we already talked about
No.
this.
Yes, but it's evolving. Because you know, before he was just like, I'm going to make sanctions and shit and talk to you sternly, and now he has had his first EU person Illuminati meeting, and he started off by saying how we betrayed the Europe, which was great. And
Right.
then the spokes guy for the Polish president was like, wow, it's not Poland, it's France who has problems with terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
He's right.
That's kind of true. And when you look at the map of the terrorisms, there's the slightly concerning big hole in all terrorisms where there's basically none in Poland. Like there's terrorisms everywhere except for Poland. I don't know. That kind of looks like the problem is not with Poland right now. They're kind of doing fine. You know, when it comes to terrorisms. Since well, there's several reasons, of course. Because for one thing, why would you even want to terrorism Poland? That sounds like a lot of work without no payoff. But it may also have something to do with their whole immigration policy. Just maybe a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, maybe I should bring up the topic I was going to bring up. So there was this little thing.
No,
there was this little thing going on in the Californias, in the Americas, where a bunch of video facts come together to talk about making videos. It's called VidCon.
Oh, I thought
No.
we were going to talk about the earthquake.
What earthquake?
That's the problem. There wasn't any, but they decided they are going to report an earthquake, and then it went to the news and to all the local authorities, and then everybody was like, "There's 6.8 thing on the scale earthquake," and then it turns out that there was no earthquake, but the scientists were working with some data from hundreds years ago, and it kind of made its way into the warning system.
Right. What region are we talking about, anyways? Where did it happen?
California,
Ah.
you know,
Well-
the place with all the earthquakes.
Well, apparently it didn't affect VidCon whatsoever, because that shit still went on. So there was this one particular.
Yes, because it didn't exist.
So yeah, there was this lady at the VidCon, and there were also these shitcons, shit lords, also at the VidCon, and they were all in one place. And there was this panel, and she was saying words, and one of the words is that Sargon of a cat is a garbage
words.
human, and everyone was shocked.
Is a garbage one. That's 7 words in total.
Mhm. And everyone was shocked because they expected her to call him a shitlord, but not a garbage human.
And then
That's
they expected him to be an actual golem made of garbage, and he disappointed everybody.
yes. But it was a really funny situation, because here you have Anita talking about harassment and oh my god, everyone's so mean to me. While at the same time basically just hurling insults and insults
And-
to,
and then
people
a
she disagrees.
Then there was a fat voice from the audience. I'm not a garbage human.
Actually, I don't think Sargon even.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
It wasn't your voice, Astra.
Which is a problem to Anita
It was
because
Sargon's voice.
yes,
The joke is Sargon is fat.
he's not even that fat. He's kind of chubby, but
But he says he's fat. Therefore he is fat.
okay. Well, it is the current year, so you're as fat as you identify as. Apparently, he identifies as fat. So
That's xenophobic.
mhm. Well, I'm allowed to because he used to be fat. So there.
Dun dun dun. Patriarchy.
So yeah, and it was also funny because there was then she opened up to Q&A, which is quite something in the first place. When Anita Sarkeesian's like, yeah, let's do a Q&A. I'm going to answer questions, and the first question
Oh
was,
my god, she's allowing comments.
Only that she didn't.
yes, he didn't answer the questions. I think the first question is where this guy was like, do you actually believe in the shit you're espouting? It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna answer that. Next. So yeah, so much for, yeah, I'm all for open dialogue and whatnot. Okay, to be fair, she did preface it with, I'm not sure if I'm going to answer your questions, but I'm open for questions, and I might answer them, but only if it suits me. So in other words, it was all one big joke, and it was hilarious. Sekele, I think you had some other topics yet ready to go.
Okay, so which one do you want to hear first?
Just
Both of them
whatever.
at the same
ISIS losing
time.
Their shit.
Just
Maybe what
what
you just said.
just whatever floats your boat.
I'll start with the simpler topic then. Basically, ISIS
Yes.
in their last bastion within Iraq blew up an 800-year-old mosque.
The important part of the info is it was their mosque.
Yeah,
and
because
their own
They were like,
mosque.
this is ours, and we are now the Islamic State. And a few years later, they were like, oh shit, and they blew it up. I guess some of them got triggered, and when they got triggered, they explode. So I guess they had like a diversion of mass, a gathering in a church, and except it's not a church. It's a round church with a tower that people yell from in Arabic, and then they had like, we are getting bombed to oblivion, and then they all got triggered and exploded. I think that's how it went.
So it wasn't even church from a competing faction. It was their church where their
No.
specific
Yep.
brand of Islam's was preached.
It was kind of famous. Like they have the propensity for destroying famous landmarks. This
Only
one
that
was famous
that-
because it was skewed. So the tower was kind of diagonal.
It's usually when ISIS destroyed landmarks, it were landmarks of other cultures and religions.
Yes.
This time, they destroyed their very own, very old, and very holy landmark.
Well, yes, it was the one where they decided they are going to be named ISIS and not Daesh.
Mhm. Which makes it a
talking
very
about explosions.
uh-huh.
You know how there's the city with the big block. I think it's called Mecca or something.
Something like that, yes.
I might be confused. I don't know much about Islam. Yes, so there's a big mosque in there, and it's actually called Big Mosque. That's how big it is,
Mhm.
right? Well,
Yes.
apparently somebody tried to be very triggered there and explode, but it didn't work
Oh.
out. So the Saudi Arabic forces were like, no, we kind of appreciate if nobody blew up, and they evacuated the space, and then one of those people who were going to blow themselves up was like, I'm not going to give up to you, and then he blew himself up.
Blow yourself up seems to be a very
He-
favorite pastime over there. Just
He
saying.
didn't seem to kill anybody, but apparently 11 people were injured during the shootout.
Okay,
So here you go. Guns kill people, not explosions.
Mhm. I'm pretty sure we get
Not
that
that
shit
anybody got
trending.
killed.
I mean-
I don't know anything about that people. Okay, the funny thing about it is that it was planned by 3 terrorist groups, and 2 of them actually have a seat in Mecca. They're literally blowing themselves in their backyard. They didn't even like travel.
Good job.
What fucking lazy terrorists they are. At least usually people travel somewhere.
Yeah,
They go up. see the world a bit. See all those heathens.
like that dude that traveled 160 miles to go to a mosque in the UK's and try and blow it up because he was he was getting pretty tired of all the terrorism.
He tried to blow it up in the van. Wait a moment.
He was like, "You all, mate. I'm tired of this shit, mate." And then he rage quitted from life, trying to bring a mosque with him, but it didn't really work out. It's kind of sad. Just a little bit. Anyway, I
Yes,
think
the rest is pretty funny. That the fact
anyway-
he targeted the mosque that's known for harboring the preachers that were always the most radicalizing.
Mhm.
Well, then they were obviously not radical enough.
That's true. If they were radical enough, the people at the sidewalk would just take up RPGs and destroy the van the moment it arrived. Wait, do Muslims have RPGs?
I guess.
Like, is that sanctioned by the Quran?
Well, motorized transportation isn't explicitly mentioned in the Quran, so I guess that's fine in there.
Oh, well, they can get around that. They just take paint and paint camel on the side.
Mhm. If devil,
Well, in
if-
Arabic, so
if that was legitimately an issue,
Actually,
then
the Quran forbids them from painting stuff.
isn't it just any visual
Okay,
depiction
okay. I said it wrong. They painted the words camel on the side. Obviously, I don't have enough faith in Arab people to actually draw a camel. Don't worry.
But
If you see them
Is-
pictures,
is-
they are
is-
worse than they are worse than medieval Japanese pictures.
isn't the
So their religion for
isn't there a ban on drawing Muhammad
drawing,
and not
yeah.
just drawing in drawings in general?
in general. For what I
This prohibiting drawings in general because it's a picture of a person and obviously people are so retarded they are immediately going to start worshipping it.
Hmm? Good point. Anyway, Sekele was bringing up a topic involving explosions. That was the ISIS blowing up some building that belongs to them.
Because we ran out of buildings.
I guess they need to build another one. Just go to mosque.com, have one ordered, fill out
Drop
the
it from orbit.
yeah, just fill out the form and they'll deliver one lickety split. It's like some city, you just plop down a new mosque and you're done. And then you'll be rich.
Ooh.
Alright, I guess I'll just bring up maybe we should let Beck bring up a topic because he did want to bring up something. If Beck's still around.
Yeah, of course I'm around. I was just lurking and waiting.
Hmm? Just
I'm sure you all know already about our beloved Merkel, right?
Yes. Merkel is
Yes,
a
I
person that
understood
exists.
the last word.
Yeah. And there's like every year there's this huge gaming convention in Germany. It's
Oh,
called,
yes.
called Gamescom. And this year,
I did notice that.
yeah. And this year she's gonna open it.
But why?
Oh man.
Because Artrix only 1 in 500 1 in 500 programs is a virus, therefore you should uninstall your firewall. Don't be discriminatory, come on Artrix.
Well, fuck that shit. I'm gonna
But
keep
yeah,
running
basically-
my firewall.
But
You just betrayed the EU.
Okay, I can live with that.
I mean most most people are already pretty much aware why she's doing it because like the month after Gamescom is like the German general elections, so she's gonna try to get us some votes.
So you think it's a publicity stunt just to get people to warm up to her, like
Yep.
she's not
Yeah, because like
go ahead.
yeah, but why didn't then she open it like the years before when the event was also huge already?
Obviously because
Huge.
the elections
found
weren't just
a-
around the corner.
Yes, and she just happened to find a new love for video games.
That's why she's going to make
And
videos
she
about
wanted to
them.
show off her wicked combos in Tekken.
That's why she's going to create a
Just
new
going
video
to
series
go
about.
on the
Basically, what I'm saying is that's becoming the new Anita Sarkeesian of Germany.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is that she's going to go on the stage and she's going to show people how she's playing Tekken.
Down the controller and allow the opposition to beat her up.
Oh, we'll see if she's a fan of video.
She's not a big fan of video games. She had to learn a lot about video games. Oh god, this shit.
I don't think you said video games enough times.
Video games. Video
It's
games.
it's not the television level in Oja anything, but it's close.
Video games. Video games. Video games. Video games.
Video games.
I like.
No.
You know, I thought it wasn't possible to hate Merkel anymore, but somehow you managed it.
Do we think she's
I know.
culturally appropriating video games?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, by the way, you know how there was the meeting of all the many presidents and shit like that. It happened in Germany too.
Of
Well,
course.
for some reason, during those 3 days, Germany decided to have checks on their borders. I wonder why.
Just like when the G8 or whatever it was having their little summit in what was it, in Sicily. You know, that's where the border checks were.
I don't think it. Artrix, I don't think you need border checks in Sicily as long as you pay enough. You know, just come to Sicily, pay a little protection money, and
Not when the
nothing is gonna
G8,
happen to them.
not when the G6 is around, then no one gets in. No one. Not even Merkel. Oh wait. No, she's perfectly able to enter.
She was left in the sea.
But yeah,
That's where she became a migrant.
Mhm. Well, that would actually be pretty fucking hilarious if she just became an, you know, migrant due to some mistake. Like, oh, whoops, we lost the German chancellor. She's now a refugee. We don't know where she is. Oh, there she's at the border. Well, we gotta treat her like a refugee now. So.
Oh, to be honest, that could probably happen. I mean, there was that one time where the Chinese tourist who didn't
Oh,
speak
yeah.
German or English got lost, and they thought he was an immigrant, and they spent 2 weeks in the system.
You are
Nobody
refugee
cares.
now. There's your refugee status. Now sleep with the other refugees. That's probably when you should start.
Just wanted to
worrying.
get to the hotel.
I was just getting
I
time
want
to
to get home.
the hotel.
I'm missing work. Let me go. Everyone else out of this country.
I want to work for glorious Republic of People's Republic of China, something like that.
Yes, the glorious Republic of People's Republic. Let me out.
Oh dear. But yeah,
No, Chinese, not
it kind of sounds similar to what happened to the Dutch general elections, where the right wing party was being all tough and shit, like, yeah, we're gonna do more to curb illegal immigration, blah blah. Vote for us. So people see to vote for them, and then it basically became a leftist party. Then they were like, yeah, now that we got elected again, it's back to business as usual.
What, didn't one of your like ministers or whatever, like a guy who was in the government for very long and also happened to be a leftist, once say that Islam cannot integrate into Dutch society of tolerance?
Probably. I to be honest, I don't remember that vote, but I wouldn't be surprised if that ever happened. Just like
I'm gonna find his name.
I mean, Merkel
Gonna
once
find him.
said that multiculturalism has failed,
He's a war criminal.
but that didn't really stop her from, you know, proceeding with her current policies.
Well, obviously, I mean, she worked for the secret services during communism.
Oh yeah.
She has a lot of training in that.
I'll see.
Okay. Fritz Bolkestein.
I
Do you know the name?
I definitely recognize the name. Does it say what party he's from?
No.
Oh.
Damn it! I closed the page and now it can reopen. Help!
GG.
Somebody do something. I have to click on another tab to open it.
I am doing so.
Wait. No, it's not.
Now you sound
but
like
apparently
Curly.
He was a minister of many governments, and he's a liberal.
Then he's probably
Dutch.
either a Labour Party or maybe even the VVD, which is the
Maybe even YouTube. Wait. Why does everybody have a Labour Party? We don't have a Labour Party.
wait, you guys don't have a Labour Party? What's this world coming
Wait,
to?
we definitely don't have anything named the Labour Party. That last happened in the First Republic, which means 1914 to 1918 to 1938.
Ah. While you're looking that up, next topic, because I'm pretty sure that Sekele has another topic you want to bring up.
Well, yeah, there is the nice thing, the nice little bit of information that will most likely brighten up your day or make you want to kill yourself. This week, we hit a point where when Nazis were more cultured and humane and generally more decent human beings than the liberals.
So nothing new.
Yeah, but this week I think it was finally confirmed.
It
Because
was
what
special Nazis this week.
So what sort of
First
horrible,
off-
terrible thing did they do?
What sort of
I bet
Well,
they helped
apparently,
somebody across the street.
Well, apparently, some American tourists who had the bright idea of visiting West Korea decided to one of their propaganda posters.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. He's a soup now.
He was arrested and sentenced to 15 years of hard labor. Or American consul system managed to get him out of there. He died.
But you have to remember that it's the best Korea, so even 15 years of hard labor is actually a very nice way to, you know, discover the country and its customs, right? So basically, he died only because when they took him out of the best Korea, he was like, but the rest of the world is not as good as best Korea. I might as well die.
Well, he
Yeah,
did. He
because
did.
he just couldn't bear leaving the best Korea.
Well, he did get to, help build the best Korea. Like he had an opportunity to be part of it.
Yeah, and then
mean-
they took him away, and it broke his heart, and he died.
I mean, just imagine that you get an opportunity to go to best Korea to help make it even become
Which is best.
bester.
Yes.
Like the
Better than
best,
itself.
like dear leader personally comes down to you and he's like, you're making best Korea even bester, and we appreciate that.
Bestoru.
Bester. Yeah, I'm never gonna get into North Korea. You're gonna look at my.
Oh, you can go there. Artrix, it's like when you are going into a castle. That's also a museum. You can go there and look around, but don't touch anything.
I don't know if the North Koreans, if I apply for a visa,
And don't go behind the red tape.
well, in North Korea's case, the red tape
Oh, no.
would be like.
Sorry, not tape. The red rope. You know how they have those
Yes,
little
know.
sticks with the rope in between them. Yeah.
You see.
I bet the best Korea is full of that, and that they're just corralling tourists through those corridors.
You see, when you're in Best Korea, the equivalent of that is basically just doing something as simple as taking a newspaper and putting it down next to you. And as it turns out, there was a picture of dear leader on it. and you now committed the terrible crime of, okay, you just put a picture of their leader face down on the chair, and that's no great disrespect to their leader. So after the day were cancelled.
Yes. Well, we have this very well-known satirical book from the time of Austria-Hungary,
Uh-huh.
in which one of the characters who's he has a pub, and he gets arrested by the secret police because he said that flies shed on the emperor's portraits.
But they do. That's not
Yes,
even
but
that's not
you
even
are
an
not supposed-
exaggeration.
You are
Like-
not supposed to say that a fly shit on the emperor.
But it's just stating facts. I mean, if I'm a fly, it doesn't even matter what surfer you send.
Those facts are against the empire. Off to the jail with you.
Are you saying that the emperor wants alternative facts?
Well, he certainly doesn't want fake news.
That almost sounds like a certain someone we all know.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Since you mentioned the magazines, I read a story of some people, a bunch of stories of some people that did successfully escape West Korea and did not die of sadness.
Uh,
And one of them was a person who used to be a journalist, and journalists in West Korea spend most of their times reading magazines from other countries and thinking up how to make them look bad. And one of these people borrowed those magazines to his friend, and the friend lost them. And they're like, well, oh shit, better leave the country. So they went and they left the country, but the friend got shot in China or something because China was like, we should probably get this guy back. And they're like, no, we don't want to go back. And then they ran from the police, and I actually don't know how exactly he escaped China, but he escaped.
well, from what I gathered,
kind of
this
shitty situation.
getting out of China is actually fairly easy. I mean, technically China is a communist country, but from what I gather, it's basically
Well, not when the police is hunting you. I remember he said they had to escape and hide in the mountains and scavenge for food, and it was because his friend actually left their mountain hideaway and went down from the mountains that the police got him and shot him.
That's too bad.
No, you know, I am kind of fascinated. Like, it took only a few seconds.
What the
of me
fuck?
I
Yes.
agree, Astra. I agree.
Sorry, I'm playing a game. Sorry.
You are playing a gay, yes indeed.
It's professional podcast, everyone.
We have Astra.
I'll just parrot our dear friends of the gaming media and say, ugh, fucking gamers. That's
Fucking
right,
gamers.
That's right, Astra. You're scum
Yeah.
Fascinated
because
on
you're a
how-
gamer.
Fuck
Sorry.
everyone here.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm kind of fascinated on how this whole thing became derailed, and it only took a few seconds of me getting the leg and not being able to communicate with you.
Oh, that's really
What
that is
thing?
weird. But what started?
It didn't do anything.
Something about the American that basically died as he was returning from
After they
West
made
Korea.
him- Yeah, well, he returned and then he was in America. They were like, his brain is soup.
Mhm. Well, obviously, I know what happened. I've got this mystery fixed and solved and everything. So obviously, what happened?
Artrix, the
Hmm?
politics fixing man.
I even know more what happened than Saloon and Vice and all those magazines. They should give me a job right
You know
away.
everything, Artrix.
No, I know more than them. That's why they should give me a job right away.
They should.
Give me a job, Vice. Do it now, because what really happened. Yes, what really happened is, okay, so this guy was in West Korea with a Q, right? So he was there and he discovered just how fucking amazing it all was. How amazing communism is, how amazing their leader is, and you know it's just the most wonderful thing in the world. And unfortunately, against this is better judgment and everything, he had to leave. Those imperial pigs that is the U.S. government managed to talk the West Korea into taking away from them. He had to leave. And he got back into the awful land that is America, and his brains couldn't handle it anymore. He had a taste
And
of
then-
the glorious West Korea, and his brains couldn't handle it and just turned into soup. All right, go ahead.
Yes. That was exactly how it happened. Told you.
Down to the last letter. Anyway, you were saying.
I am not even sure if at this point there is even a point of trying to return to the topic.
What topic?
Well, the topic was.
Kinda like this.
I basically said everything was we said, didn't I?
The topic was that this week the Western liberals have proved themselves to be worse than the Nazis.
Oh,
As
that-
usual.
that's what sparked this whole thing. All right, go ahead.
But that's just because the Nazis are terrible people who need to be punched. Also, you are a Nazi.
Well, of course he is. But involves
you.
well, obviously I'm a Nazi. But it involves that party in Slovakia that's like literal Nazis in it.
First, we would have to go back to what the hell happened in the USA.
Uh-huh.
USA. USA.
Continuing this, turn off the stream, kill us all, blow up this planet. No point in continuing.
Hey, Muslims are working on it.
Yeah.
Sorry, not all Muslims.
Just a few.
I mean, I never thought it was possible to derail something so much that it's impossible to get back on topic again.
You can get back on topic, it's just something hard enough.
Okay, so basically what happened was that when this particular American person, a US citizen, ended up dying upon their return, Western media and the progressive left was overjoyed that he died.
Why he was
They
white?
celebrated him because he was a white male, and therefore he deserved to die, because all white males deserve to die.
Obviously. I mean, he went to a place where his white maleness didn't give him any privilege. So he saw how it's what it's like to be a black person in USA, because they are using them for hard labor.
Only that he would have ended the same way regardless of race. And
Well, yeah, he's got a point there, because even South Koreans are put to labor camps if they find them. They're basically the same people.
That's racist.
Yes, it's very racist to put someone in the labor camp who's of the exact same ethnicity as you.
Exactly. I mean, that's why Russians used what are they called? Georgians.
They use them for what?
Sound. Something's doing a sound that I don't like. Stop that. Okay.
it's the sound of Discord being fucked up.
Okay.
Mm.
I told you.
Discord.
It's a terrible program. We should stop using.
Skype is even more terrible.
It could be worse. Like,
Did you see the new mobile Skype is absolutely dreadful.
Bug. Just wait until they integrate Cortana.
Well, then you can have sexy
And then you will be
conversations
even
with
able to
Cortana.
type. Then you have to tell her stuff and she's going to transcribe it.
How do you feel today, Cortana? I don't feel like it. I have an headache. For fuck's sake, Cortana, just
Go away.
I need to pay this bill.
I just want to order a pizza.
Well, go get yourself.
I'm hungry.
It's not in the 1950s anymore. Go get your own damn pizza. You're a machine. You're a computer, Cortana. Oh, so now you're objectifying me, are you? Yes, because you're a fucking computer.
You can really objectify an AI.
Exactly. And that's how
back
Omnic
to
Scout
Halo,
writes.
Cortana.
Oh wait,
That's how the news goes.
that's how the news goes. Boop-a-doop-doop. Anyway,
And
speaking of
that's how
cartoons.
the news goes.
Oh yeah, that was his quote. Speaking of cartoons, there's new cartoons from Best Korea.
Yeah, we still have not finished the old topic.
Okay,
Okay, finish your topic. Plus,
we can do it.
Compare the progressive left of the West celebrating the deaths of someone based purely on their race. Meanwhile, the head of Slovakia's Nazi party, the actual Nazi party that controlled Slovakia during World War II, and the same Nazi party who during the 1990s had a secret agenda of sterilizing gypsies. The head of this party, at the opportunity of the Israeli prime minister's visit of Slovakia, the head of Slovakia's Nazi party openly came. He apologized for the Holocaust.
Oh
He
no.
say that should never repeat itself. Actual Nazi has more decency in his body than a liberal.
Yeah, but now like 80% of Slovakia hates him and Israel hates him too because now they're like, but now we can complain about it. They like complaining about the Holocaust.
I think it might in part have something to do with a lot of people are giving.
Israeli prime minister.
Go ahead.
Actually, the Israeli prime minister seems to be happy that Slovaks are capable of talking about this topic so openly and admit their mistakes.
I think it might also be due to a common misconception that a lot of people seem to think that even during World War II, Nazi automatically equals we're going to exterminate all the Jews.
Also Gypsy.
And gypsies and basically everyone who isn't, the mustard race.
Pure white Aryan master race.
Mhm.
Mustard.
If you ask the average person back then, like, what should we do about it? They would probably say something like, just mass deport them or whatever, just kick them out. And
Make
was-
mustard out of.
Yeah, because after the war, the American soldiers showed the civilians and even the soldiers what the fuck they were doing, and they're like, "Holy shit, man! Holy
You don't
shit.
like this very much.
Yeah, this is kind of excessive. I wasn't I wasn't exactly advocating for this.
I did not sign up for
I didn't sign up for
did
this
not sign
shit.
up for this.
Alternatively, I was just fulfilling the orders.
Okay, obviously the
For the
dudes that were actually working at the
Who's
concentration camp were very aware of what the fuck was going on, but the average Joe was completely oblivious. Though there were also people obviously that were
Average Heinrich.
yeah, you know, everyone who was named Hans was in on it, but all the Heinrichs were like, yeah, I've no fucking clue what's going on.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Hmm?
Hans, did you know about this? Ja.
Was the fuck is going on here? Or something like that.
Was ist passieren?
Schnitzel.
I'm trying to.
I'm pretty sure that Beck is cringing really hard right now. It's like, what the fuck are you guys even trying?
Yeah. Back, this is how you sound to us when you speak German.
Bier. That's it, that's all I got. Bier, Schnitzel, Snell, Stau. Ich muss arbeiten.
Link 434. Link 434.
Maschinenvierer.
Merkel,
Flammenwerfer.
DDR.
That was low, Artrix.
Das erste, ja. Today in der News. Winston ist ein großer Gorilla und I don't know, something.
Yes.
Yes. Ja.
Guten Tag, meine Damen und Herren. Holen Sie Ihre Schwänze raus für Harambe.
So Herr Winston,
Yes, I said exactly what you think.
Yes. Herr Winston, was ist eine Meinung about this thing? What are you even saying? I don't speak any German. I'm a gorilla. I'm also genetically engineered. It's okay. I'm a genetically engineered gorilla, so it's you're allowed to do that. Because I don't really fit in any. But it might be speciesist, but it's not racist. You know, I'm not seeing as I'm not a human. See, I'm a gorilla. I'm also a scientist.
As long as you self-identify as it's a race.
Well, a lot like
It's a race to extinction.
actually now I'm getting kind of offended because you're taking my agency away from me, dear sir. Because I just very clearly told you that I'm not offended and that I don't consider myself a human race.
I'm an offense.
So you are an offense. Well,
Then he became the offense.
well, in that case, I have to become more of an offense to you. So therefore, I must modify your face
like
with my fist, which is really big
It's
because
like
I'm a
the
gorilla.
standard eye fence, but with in O shape, so it's O fence.
Oh, okay. Anyway, did that
Also,
okay? New topic.
yes, it's a short topic. Donald Trump got a great idea.
Another one?
Did it hurt?
Yes. He's full of great ideas. So he has this plan to make this big, beautiful wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be very expensive because there's a lot of concrete involved. And he decided that it would be a good idea to cover it in solar panels because that would decrease the cost of it.
Well, that's that's both brilliant and highly retarded at the same time.
And it's both both true and not true.
Because I
That's
immediately
Donald Trump's genius.
look. The first thing I have to think upon hearing that is solar frickin' roadways. But instead of
No,
solar
it's
frickin'
just a solar
roadways, it's a
frickin' wall.
exactly.
You can make a solar wall. People already have those.
The problem with a sort of frickin' wall is that the angle of a wall is really bad for solar panels. like, okay, depending on how thick this
Well,
wall is gonna
Artrix-
be, if he's going to order this wall extra thick, then it might work because you can put solar panels.
Extra thick.
Then you can put the solar panels all
Well,
on the
obviously
wall.
the panels are not going to be from the Mexico side because the evil Mexicans will just stand next to them and reduce the power output.
Oh, I thought they were just
They-
gonna go and steal our solar powers.
That's probably too.
Hmm? They'll probably find a way. They just go up to the wall
So-
and just steal it.
Yeah. So this wall with very differently priced solar panels than concrete is going to be cheaper, I guess. But there's one small problem. He can't build it underground now because there's no sun underground.
But why would you
What is he
want
going
to
to build underground?
Why would you want to build a wall underground?
So they can dig under it, Artrix.
Yeah,
Think.
but you also
Also,
need a,
basically, only
So my proposition is
there is a very
the underground part should be several kilometers deep, and at the bottom of it there should be thermal generators.
obviously.
Problem solved.
Also, yeah, that was a thing where apparently it might be just, you know, the same wankery you get from leftist media, but apparently the Mexican president was like, yeah, we're just gonna build a tunnel under it. And the first question that pops up with me is, okay, why do you, as the, you know, Mexican president, why do you want your citizens to go away? Why do you want them to go to the United States? Wouldn't you rather
Well,
have
the less people he has, Artrix, the less people he has in the country, the more space for drugs. Also, the more space for American tourists to come in to partake in those drugs.
fair enough.
You
So
don't hear them complaining. The Americans are taking our drugs.
well, they just
Sure, but it's
they just need to make more drugs then, or better yet, just stop.
Unless they started selling the drugs to the Mayans instead, whatever is instead of Mayans right now.
Or America can just stop being retarded and stop this war on drugs, and everything's gonna be much easier and less complicated.
just do a whole lot of heroin and cocaine.
Well, it's more like a war on illegal jobs. Also, talking about Mexico, there was this one person, Muslim, who got beaten to death by a thug as she exited a mosque or something like that. And you know what? This despicable white male, because obviously it was a white male, right? He was Mexican. So the Mexicans really are doing jobs the Americans don't want to do.
So they're doing jobs that Americans legitimately don't want to do.
Yes.
GG.
Like killing Muslims. Obviously, it was not motivated by religion. He was just a thug in need of money, and the person looked like they might have money on them because they had pockets.
Well, in that case,
That's how
it's-
thugs operate.
yes. That case should stay
Trust me,
far.
I'm Slavic. I know these things. Like you see a guy with pockets, that's suspicious. He might have money in them.
Well, in that case, should stay far away because I have pockets.
Oh my god.
I know, right?
Sekele, did you hear he has pockets?
Huh? I already have my scissors ready.
Yeah.
They are sharp.
Oh, you guys. Oh, speak. I just remembered something. So yeah, we got a bunch of animation news in the pipeline. We got, you know, we
Wow.
got.
About Nickelodeon.
Yes, Nickelodeon was like, you know what? That Gravity Falls is kind of cool. So you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna make our own version with blackjack and hookers. Except it's actually quite different.
Isn't like
It's-
everybody doing that? Alex,
So
if this is going to be just another cartoon in that exact same art style as every other cartoon,
except the art style's
I'm
actually
really
fairly.
I'm really starting to not being able to differentiate between them.
Well, the art style is quite distinct from Gravity Falls, to be fair.
But not
You
Oh,
said
they
that about Steven Universe. It's not.
Well, Steven
No,
Universe
no.
does have a very different art style. It may have L-shaped heads,
Doesn't.
but
Not the same.
but but
um,
but it's the Wayne
pretty
Manor,
sure
right?
we can get some promotional art. It's called Welcome to the Wayne.
Ah, there we go. I wasn't entirely sure about the title.
You know, it's yeah, I'm posting it in the chat.
I think it should be named Twin Peaks Kids.
But yeah, it obviously
If
took.
you know about Twin Peaks.
I have to
So,
give. I have to.
obviously,
Okay.
different from Gravity Falls because first off, it doesn't take place in a town, small town near a forest, but instead it takes place in a huge haunted apartment building, and the funny kid with a grappling hook.
Basically, the whole city of Kowloon.
So basically, Gravity Falls UK.
Gravity Halls. Yes.
And of
Sounds
course,
good. And it doesn't even have Mabel. It has a Dipper, but who cares?
Well, the roles are
Has,
basically reversed.
Yeah, it has a female Dipper.
Nobody cares about Dippers. It's all about the Mabel.
And boy Mabel even has a grappling hook.
Yes. That's. I mean, that's essential in being a Mabel.
So does the girl. I think her name is Webby in the new DuckTales. She also has a grappling hook, or was it Dewey?
Oh yes.
Something like that.
Both because Disney.
Now you are being just racist, Artrix. Not recognizing those ducks.
I'm speciest.
There is
Duck is a race.
very good explanation for that one. First off, the original Webby from the old DuckTales cartoon was a freaking bland slate.
Oh, I mean, half of the characters were.
Yeah, basically.
They did what they needed to do in that episode, as cartoons used to work, like that.
He was basically little girl, like her
character.
whole personality.
Oh, I just
And the
heard.
second reason is that Disney
Oh, the entire personality of the guys were like, these are little duck guys. They do shit. And then you had the money duck, and his personality was he likes money.
Lol, he's a greedy fuck.
Yes. But he likes children.
Yeah,
Yes,
at,
children.
at least he kinda
They're not-
loved his nephews.
Yes. They're
Just a little
not
bit.
exactly his children, but he likes them anyway.
He likes them
Yeah,
as,
just a little bit.
as if it was his own children. Almost.
Yes,
Anyway,
he
continues.
likes them just as much as he likes the dollars from 1985. Not as much as he likes the dollars from 1979, though.
Those can fuck off. Anyway, Sekele, I think you want to finish your sentence.
Disney explicit. Yeah, but I kind of forgot what it was.
Good. Wait. Something about Mabel's appling hooks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the fact that the original Webby was a blank slate as a character, and second, Disney explicitly wanted another Mabel.
Sure.
So they basically gave them a duck Mabel.
Yes. It's the good old. This is successful. Let's copy it. This is the thinking that gave us crafting in every fucking game. Oh god, how much I hate it.
to the point where they even got the same voice actor to do the voice in it. Because I think Kristen Strahl is voicing Webby, or am I mistaken?
I bet there's going to be crafting in this. even though it's not even a game. That's just going to be crafting.
But yeah, I've seen the intro to the new DuckTales. It looks really promising. I'm legitimately excited about this. We are a bunch of ducks in this city, completely
You do
themed
duck
around
shit.
ducks.
Watch us.
We swimming, hanging out in ponds and eating bread. Here in Duckburg, we're sort of flying around
Ducks.
and kind of laying eggs in the embankment or whatever. DuckTales.
Ducks. We are ducks.
Just sitting there in the water, DuckTales. Kind of.
Nothing exciting ever happens.
DuckTales. Just sort of swimming in the water, occasionally flying a little bit, and if you're lucky, you might see them quack.
I would watch that. That's beautiful.
This and it's just nothing but just took footage of ducks living in the city, and it's just boring as a
Like BBC documentary without the commentary.
It's just 20 minutes of just one camera being pointed at a random pole and just watching it, ducks just sort of swimming in the water. Occasionally quacking, you know.
Don't underestimate ducks. I sometimes observe the ducks on the river in the town, and in winter there was a part of the river that was not completely frozen over, and they used it to drink, and the local pigeons also used it to drink. And I actually seen how pigeons requested landing permission. They were circling around the hole, and the ducks were watching them, and when they stopped watching them and kind of went away from the hole, that was when the pigeons landed and drank from it. And the ducks were just, kind of standing nearby and watching them very closely. And then when the pigeons left, they just went back.
Right. Well, isn't that kind of the hierarchy of birds? It's like, okay, so on the very
Ducks have fucking monopoly on water, man.
so on the very bottom
Unless the
there's
seagull.
seagulls are basically on top. So whenever those fuckers are around, they basically
I'm
get to
pretty
do
sure-
whatever the fuck they want. Then there's
I'm
then
pretty
there's
sure they have
ducks.
gang wars with ducks.
Mhm.
Ducks are like the underdog. They are trying to get on the top.
Oh yeah, if
They are on the fucking top when the seagulls run around.
the seagull is in the air and he's asking for a landing permission, so he's like, I'm a seagull. I should do it in the proper airline voice. I am Seagull. I'm requesting permission to land on the water strip 165-B. Can I have permission? And the duck's like, fuck off. You can't land here. This is duck territory. And then the seagull's like, I'm running out of fuel. I really need to land. Please let us land. And the duck's like, no, fuck off. Just crash fall like here. And then the seagull lands anyway because he's a fucking seagull.
Yeah, and then we have the pigeons, and they are on the bottom just by the virtue of being pigeons.
Well, the pigeon
know.
also just lands anyway, but then the seagull just crashes into the pigeon.
It's like the ducks are like, hey, identify yourself, and the pigeon is like, I'm a pigeon. Ah! What do you
Oh.
want here? I'm a pigeon.
I'm a pigeon.
And then there are the crows who are just assholes.
Well, obviously, like crows are the kids who are too cool to partake in that hierarchy. It's like, yeah, whatever. We are going to take this trash out and eat everything that's in it.
Especially crows that actually no, the crow I was referring to was painting his beak. He was using shoe polish to paint his beak, but he wasn't actually a crow. He was
Probably
more
the-
like
And the thing was that he was a black bird who pretended he was a crow.
Yeah, we don't know what he was, but now he's a crow. He blended successfully.
yeah, he was this very subtle allusion to a certain political figure. it's a mystery to
Right
this.
the lighthouse.
He,
I
he,
bet
um,
it's right to the lighthouse.
he only promised the animals, more job security and to make great waterland great again. But then
That
Alfred
doesn't sound like right to the lighthouse.
and then Alfred put a stop to it. He was like, "So you want to make everything better? Well, fuck you," and then he kicked him out.
Just make everything shit for everyone.
Hmm? Oh yeah, he reinstated the monarchy.
Or they are not going to elect you again.
Actually,
I would do that.
ac-
Just
actually, he tried to
Explain.
get he tried to get re-elected, but he didn't win.
upset.
Also, in case everyone's wondering, I'm talking about Alfred G. Quack, which was a cartoon running in the late 80s. It was about this. It was also about a bird, about a duck even, and all sorts of other animals. And they lived in a country that was very much like the Netherlands, except it wasn't. And it was
Because there were
basically
12 ducks who happened to
yeah.
be sentient.
Exactly. It was kind of funny because
Unless you are a duck, Artrix. Are you hiding something from us?
no, I'm not a duck. I can guarantee
Are
that
you-
I
are you
am
being
in
a
fact
duck right
not.
now?
No. And there was no point in my
Something
life
like
when
a
there
duck
was
would say.
one. I know it's hard to believe, but
Exactly.
I assure you that I'm not a duck. I'm Dutch, but I'm not a duck.
Tomato.
Anyway, I guess
Why did they name it
do we
tomato?
do we actually have topics you want to bring up still, or that we just about
I'm just wondering why did they name it tomato? Because they had the great opportunity to name it potato, and they blew it.
it's tomato and tomato. There's,
No, tomato. That's
What?
potato and tomato in one.
okay, but why would you ever want such a word?
Because there's a plant that exists that's potato and tomato.
Right.
It's called tomato, and you make it by by putting together tomato and potato plants. I don't know why people did this, but apparently it was deemed necessary. And I'm pretty pissed off that they didn't name it potato.
Well,
That's a golden opportunity, once in a history opportunity, and you fucking blew it, idiots.
go to complain.org and tell them, and maybe they'll help you to
I
rectify
can't.
this.
The site is down.
Oh, okay.
Site is down. Somebody complained.
Well, with that, I think I'm just gonna. Also, I'm done drawing Winston, so it's actually perfect timing. So, like, subscribe, and favorite, and give me loads of money. There was an episode of Radio Rothingham, the world's least professional podcast on the entire universe. Internet. Hope you liked it. If you don't, then fuck off. And we'll be back next week to bring yet another episode of highly retarded content that is our little podcast thingy. So, yeah, any last words before I press stop recording?
This episode should be named "It Contains Ducks."
And make Europe great again.
It contains ducks. I think I'll go for that.
Yes. Good old ducky.
Yes. So yeah,
You want some duck?
good enough.